looking southeast at the watchtower over by Tower Peak. Left through the gap, and then on the right is part of the structure of Forsyth Peak that runs around down to Dorothy Lake, around Dorothy Lake Pass. But that's the general vicinity up there. That's where the PCT runs on the right side of that, up to Dorothy Lake Pass, and Stella Lake, Dorothy Lake, and the lakes are all on the west side of this structure. We're going through a zone of red broken down soil and then white broken down soil. And the red zone, the red rust, looks like iron leaching out of the rock. And then right next door we've got a beautiful white color, back to back. It's not as dramatic as volcanic and granitic. Maybe it's just down to different compositions of the rock, or maybe even different rates of exposure and the chemical processing. But whatever it is stimulating. Should be Hollywood Basin up there on the west side of the West Fork of the West Walker. We're dropping down to it now. So we're just above the trail junction for Immigrant Pass and Dorothy Lake Pass. That's Hollywood Junction up there, and that's the West Fork of the West Walker down there. And the difference is one's the PCT route up to Yosemite, and the other's Immigrant Wilderness route up to Immigrant Basin, up to Grizzly Peak. And from there, from Grizzly Peak, you can easily hike over to Bomb Pass and pick up the PCT there. You can see this is a climb all the way up to Dorothy Lake Pass. There's a couple of traverses where you're traversing over onto the eastern flanks of the ridges, heading up drainages up into Cascade Creek, which is a feeder on the West Walker. Very pretty, good strenuous hike, rough trail. It's well maintained. It's just rough conditions. So, yeah, and we're actually headed north. We're gonna go down to the West-West Walker through the Immigrant Pass Junction, following the PCT up Kennedy Canyon, as a matter of fact, and then we're going to continue to the west where the PCT turns north and goes over Leavitt Peak at Kennedy Canyon. We're going to continue west and go down to Kennedy Lake and then drop down to Summit Creek and follow that down to Kennedy Meadows Pack Station. Now here's the junction I was talking about. If you're coming south on the PCT, you can go right here up to Immigrant Pass, or in our case, since we're going north, we're going to continue straight down or to the right. Cinko Lake, Dorothy Lake Pass, and also that is the way up to Immigrant Pass as well, although the sign doesn't say. Coolness. And this is the way down to the West Walker. So, oh, and this trail here, you'll actually, as you head up, about 2, 3, 4 miles up, you'll see the left to Cinko Lake, which is the same place where, as we were coming down from Dorothy Lake Pass, we had the left to Cinko Lake going north. Okay, so those trails parallel each other, and the one to the one to Immigrant Pass and the one to Dorothy Lake Pass. And since they parallel each other, we can get to Cinko Lake from here, or we can get to Cinko Lake further down each of those trails, since it sits between them, and they parallel each other. We'll be at the bridge here shortly, and that's where I'm going to take off my shoes and take off the pack and chill out before starting the ascent. It's not bad. It's a nice little hike up Kennedy Canyon Forest. Shady, dark, good trail. We're approaching the West Walker Bridge. The West Walker Bridge, to be more precise. See it over there? Oh, good. I don't know why I'm saying good. Well, it's the bottom of the descent. That hurts my knees. So now we go uphill, up Kennedy Canyon.